So today, since it's Valentine's Day, on the day that well, let's be honest, this is pre-recorded. I'm taking the day off because it's my birthday. We're just gonna
Brad's
say it how it is.
birthday!
Yeah. So, this is releasing Valentine's week. How's that? We'll go there with that. We thought we would talk about players we love. Now, we did have to go into some, I guess you could say, some parameters, some rules with this because we could go in and obviously just talk about so many players with this. But what we wanted to do is we wanted to say, who would you like to have, as a fan, of course, a long-term relationship with? These players, uh, like who is going to be around for the long haul? So what we did is we put a cap at 25 years old, right? Because that makes good logical sense, I think. Anyways, so and as we got going into this, it was kind of like there are a lot of there's a ton of young talent in Major League Baseball right now.
Probably more than we've seen in
A decade at least.
I was gonna say like 10, maybe 12 years.
A
Maybe
while.
more. Yeah.
And first off, I gotta say, I think it's a really good thing for the game,
Yeah.
right? Because young stars are fantastic.
Always.
So what we decided to do, instead of just doing our top 5 players under 25 who we love, we're going to break this up into 3 different episodes for you guys. And today we're going to talk about infielders. So today is our top infielders under 25 with our players we love. Brig, take it away and lead us off.
Don't tell me what to do, Brad.
I am your coal mine supervisor.
You are right now. I'm going to go with a guy who has been in the league for, let's see, this is currently, and let me preface this. 2022 can be their age 25 year for my money. Like, I'm okay with that, right?
Okay. All right. Yeah.
That's what I did. So this guy has been in the league 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years successfully. Right? His age 25 year will be 2022.
Okay.
He's an all-star, Silver Slugger. He's been in the MVP race as of number 13 is what I have here, and that was in 2021. 2-time all-star. He has an overall WAR career. Again, this is short-term career, but career WAR so far 14.4. Career batting average sits at 273. His OBP is 325, slugging 477. OPS is 802. He's a second baseman. He plays for the Atlanta Braves. It's Ozzie Albies.
I knew it. You know how I knew?
Yes!
He's my runner-up.
Yes!
Yeah.
Cool.
Yep. Yeah, he is a solid choice. Go ahead and tell us additionally why, Brie, because I feel like you laid it out pretty good there, like why he's a player you love right now.
Well, I think that what we're going to see is more out of him, and that's what's the point of this exercise, right? Is to find out guys that we're going to see more from. But I think that he could be a long-term presence in Atlanta, and I love the idea of franchise guys who stick around, kind of like that core 4 in New York back in the 90s, or when you know the triple threat pitching team in in Atlanta back in the 90s as well.
Oh,
like
yeah.
Stuff like that, right? The big red machine, like I want that to come back, those things to come back. So I think he could help anchor some of that in Atlanta, in addition to everything that I've already laid out. And what's cool is we've seen him in the postseason.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. I like that we've seen him in the postseason. So those numbers include postseason runs, and that's awesome. He's been a part of 8 series in the postseason over the last 5 years.
Well, and so not only we didn't just see him in the World Series, he actually showed up.
Right.
Like he had a great series.
But I'm just saying playoff baseball at all. Mm-hmm. He happened to also participate in a World Series and stand up and deliver. Right. Mm-hmm. So he's played in a wild card game, 4 games for the NLDS, 2 games NLCS, 1 World Series, 2 championship series, 4 division series races, and 1 World Series. That's what I meant to say.
There you go. Yeah.
And that's a lot of playoff baseball for a guy who's only been in the league 5 years.
Yeah. Well, and the fact that he is 25, just barely, and he's been in the league 5 years, to me, that says a lot.
Yeah.
Right.
It came in his
That's really
age
where it
21
comes
year.
in. Yeah.
In his age 21 year, he played a full 57 games,
Mm-hmm.
which is awesome. And then
Yeah.
he's never
Well,
played. He's never played like significantly reduced games, except for the
mhm.
weird
And
COVID
so
year.
this is
But
one of the things that I think is crazy, specifically about the Braves and talking about Albies, is that first off, Albies I feel like has been overshadowed by Acuna because Acuna is another stud, right?
totally, yeah,
Massive star, the big personality. Albies is just about everything Acuna brings to offer, but in the infield. Like he
yep,
doesn't have the power, but he gets on base and he does what he needs to do. He gets the job
yeah,
done.
yeah,
That I don't Brig, I feel like we're all guilty of looking past the Braves the last 3 or 4 years. We saw them come in to the playoffs last year. It's like, okay, yeah, like this is a good team, but they weren't quite
right,
ready. And then this
yeah,
year, disaster struck, and we're kind of like, well, that's it for the Braves. But they plugged and played, and it's like it's because they had a strong core that they had already built up
yeah,
going in, like leading up to those injuries. That it's like, okay, yeah, this is a really good team, and
yeah,
Albies and Freddie Freeman have been part of that core and consistency that led to the World Series. And
yep.
I think people should be paying more attention to Albies.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Especially because we're going to get a lot more out of him
Yes,
from
we
him.
sure are.
From him. Let's put it
Yep.
differently. Since
Yeah.
we're in the middle of a CBA, we're gonna see a lot more positive performance from him. It's very
Yeah.
exciting.
I agree.
All right,
All
Brad,
right.
who you got?
My first player is somebody who just recently turned 24. That was on what the end of January, February 1st. He just turned 24.
Okay.
He has had 2 years in the league. This last year, he became a regular full-time starter for his team. He's a middle infielder. Very exciting. I've talked about him before. I love watching this guy just because, like I said, he's exciting and fun player to watch. I'm going to go with Jazz Chisholm of the Miami Marlins.
He was my runner-up.
Hey, there we go.
That's the guy I replaced with Ozzy Albies. I was like, no, I want to go with somebody else.
And see, I put Chisholm was one of the first guys on my list
He was for
because
me too.
because I just had to verify that he was under 25. I was like, he's got to be. He's just seems really young. But
For
this is the
sure.
thing about Chisholm is that like he doesn't have like slappy in the face outstanding numbers, right? Like he hit 248 this last year. He stole 23 bases, but he led the National League with 8. He got caught stealing 8 times. And I don't care if a guy gets caught stealing bases because for me it's like he's being aggressive. He's going out there. And the fact that he led the league getting caught trying to steal bases is like the dude is just going to keep trying. He's going to keep going. And that's one thing that I love because we didn't talk about it last week, but I feel like a stolen base is one of the most exciting plays in sports because there's so
Yes.
much anticipation over such a short period of time. Um, but Jazz Chisholm, in my opinion, I believe that he's going to grow into being one of the best players on that Marlins team if he's not already, because they're really young. But he's going to be their leader. Not he's going to be the face of their franchise. Um, I think that he's going to be the guy who's going to eventually lead them to the playoffs. I don't know that he has what it takes to lead them to a World Series,
Yeah.
but he's going to help them get back in the
We
playoffs
don't know.
and a
Yeah.
legitimate playoff berth.
I agree with that. The only hesitation I really have with him is we haven't seen too much from him yet, not
Right.
enough for my money, and two, being that in the franchise he's a part of, there's so much turmoil, there's so much turnover of players, there's so much going on all the time that you just don't know if they're going to value him at the level he deserves to be valued at, and I think I can see him getting traded away, and
And so
then we'll see what we need from him.
So, and I can see that because of the history of the franchise. However, what I say to that though is that I feel like when Derek Jeter and those guys came in, I feel like what they did was they were like, okay, we have all these guys who have reached their ceiling, and they're like Christian Yelich, JT Realmuto, Giancarlo Stanton. Those guys had reached that group had reached its ceiling in Miami, and they said the best thing we can do, and I saw this with the Mariners too, is just tear it down and start over again. So
Yeah.
I think that what's happening in Miami is Derek Jeter and his guys are like, okay, Chisholm is going to be our cornerstone.
He's Anthony Rizzo,
Yes,
right?
I think that they really like him
Yeah.
because they're already putting him out there to represent the team. as like
Yeah,
their
it's
young
true.
guy who they're going to be like, let's build him up, let's build a rapport with the fan base and everything because we want him to be our guy.
Yeah.
And so I don't think that they would necessarily trade him. I think if they're gonna if he does get to the point where he deserves a big fat contract, I think they're gonna give him what they can because they want some consistency. Derek Jeter understands the importance of consistency, the role that it can play,
For sure.
and not just in a player's career, but also the franchise as far as like appealing to the fan base, stuff like that. So
I think he understands it as well, if not better than a lot of players and owners and managers and agents and everything.
Yep, exactly. So I think they're going to keep him around as long as he earns his spot there.
Cool. I love it. I'm not going to disagree with you.
Excellent.
Very good. So I'm going to go next.
Okay,
since it's my turn. There's two of us.
Yes.
I'll go next. Okay. I'm going to go with a guy who's has been an all-star one time.
Okay.
He has a Silver Slugger, career WAR of 10.8. We've seen a career lasting. Let's see. This will be his 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th, 6th season. 2022 will be number 6 for him, where he does again turn 25 in his 2022 season. Okay. So his batting average 279, OBP 338, slugging 509, OPS 847. Okay. This dude, first of all, this dude can rake, right? And he has had defensive issues in the past with range and some errors committed and things like that. But it's okay to have a guy at third base who's maybe got a tiny bit of an issue at defensively, not enough to make him a liability, because there's not enough to consider him a liability. We wondered, though, and I'm going to drop the reveal here in a minute, so stay with me. But we wondered about it, and his Cabbage Patch cheeks, it's Rafael Devers.
I wondered if you were going to grab Devers.
The fact is, he's so good.
He is so good.
He's so good. And what kills me is that over those 5 years, not only have we seen his WAR is in a good spot for where he is in his career, he's got postseason baseball experience and does well in the postseason, well enough. What I love about Devers is that his transformation from are we going to have a problem here to he's now a problem for everybody else is the reason he has got to be on this list for me.
That's solid. And I was looking for a fifth guy, and actually it was funny. I was like, I got to have a fifth guy, but I already had 5. But so I pulled up a list of the top 25 players under 25, and he was on there, and I was like, I almost grabbed him just because I didn't think you would. But it kills me that you absolutely grabbed your absolute least favorite player in the league simply because of his Cabbage Patch cheeks. But no, he is a problem. He's a legitimate problem for everybody the Red Sox face.
Every single
100%.
Time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you got to just love him for that. You have to.
You do. That's awesome. That's so funny.
You're welcome, Mike. I don't think Mike Farnes would have let me live it down if I didn't include Rafael Devers in my list. I just don't think he would have.
That's solid. That's really good.
And I didn't make the decision for Mike. It just happens to be a nice little bonus.
Awesome. All right. The next one. Do you mind if I go ahead? Are you done with Devers?
Oh, I think you should go. It's probably your turn.
All right. Okay. The next guy I have, he's actually another third baseman.
Ooh.
Not Rafael Devers. This guy turned 25 13 days ago. So some of these guys are like right up there at the top, right?
Yeah, it's okay. It counts.
But he has 2 seasons in the big leagues. He hasn't. He was there for the entire time this last year, but he hasn't put together like a full season yet. But I think that this team is trying to make him be their next franchise guy, which is why they traded away their other franchise guy this last year to the Padres in Adam Frazier.
Yes.
Are you Ke'Bryan Hayes?
Hayes. He almost made my list as well. I was just like, he doesn't have enough service time for me.
And see, that's the thing for me is like I'm willing to take a guy who's exciting his first couple of years, who's kind of like a flash in the pan. Like he only played 25 or 24 games in 2020, which is a whole lot more than what it sounds like because of the season the way it was. He played 96 games this year, but if you watch this dude, he's exciting, man. He's really
exciting.
He's fun to watch. He hit 257 this year. He did only hit 6 home runs, but he stole 9 bases. I think he's working himself up to being the next guy who the Pirates can trade and get a haul back for. Because let's be honest, it's gonna happen.
Yeah, it is.
Adam Frazier, Josh Bell, all of them. It happens. Garrett Cole. It happens to all of them. It happens to all of them in Pittsburgh. It's unfortunate, but that's the way they're running things these days. They're trying to flip their prospects and stars, but they're not.
It's not real estate, guys.
Exactly. You're never gonna see a return if you don't let it mature. So
yeah.
But anyway, Brian Hayes is another one of my guys I like to watch. Honestly, like anybody who wears a Pirates uniform, I'm going to pay attention to simply because of the name across the chest.
Totally. I'm the same way. I love, yes. We have both Brad and I have an affinity for piratical things.
Piratical.
For those of you watching on YouTube, you can see Brad as displaying why.
Yes, exactly. For sure.
For those of you listening, jump on 9plusus.com and check out the pirate baseball line we have. It's actually a lot of fun. Okay.
Do one more and then we'll take a break.
All right. Next for me is a guy who this will be his 4th season in the big leagues. He's going to turn 23 this year. He's been not only in the All-Star lineup, but he's been an All-Star MVP. He's got a Silver Slugger award. He has a batting average career 289. His WAR is at 9.5. And again, that's in 3 complete seasons. We've got an OBP 367, slugging 517, OPS 884. The dude is just so much fun to watch. Now, it gets even better. Look, in 2019, when he was 20 years old, he played 123 games. He played 60 games and led the league in 2020 during the COVID season. And he played 161 games last year, which was his all-star year. Okay. This is Vlad Guerrero Jr.
He's also on my list.
Is he?
Yes, he is.
There we go. It happens every time. He plays third base occasionally. He's a first baseman.
Mm-hmm. So this is one of my things with Vlad is that his dad was electric, right?
Bro.
Like absolutely electric. One of the best hitters that our generation saw growing up.
For sure.
And I punctuated by his ability to hit a ball bouncing off the ground, right? He was one of the best bad ball pitchers we've ever seen.
100%. You just flick the bat and it goes.
Yeah, and this is one of the things. And also, side note, my wife's favorite player. But anyway, one of them.
True story.
So him coming up with a well-known and Hall of Fame dad, the microscope has been on him since day one. Since we first heard, did you hear Vlad Guerrero's got a kid coming up?
Yeah.
Pretty good, right? Like ever since we first started hearing that, it's like, okay, let's keep track of this guy. Keep track of him. Like, I think the last time I paid attention to somebody who wasn't a Mariner coming up through the minor league system might have been Bryce Harper,
Right.
Or Gordon Beckham, because I had drafted him on my fantasy team. Like, yeah, the White Sox are going to pull him up. And they did. But nobody besides Vlad Guerrero Jr. And he's delivered. He's delivered. The way the ball explodes off his bat is unreal.
It's unreal. And that home run derby, I'll never forget that, ever. Mm-hmm. It was insane. I cannot believe he lost. I still can't believe it. But that was one of the most exciting home run derbies I've ever experienced. It was it was with Polar Bear Pete. Are you kidding me? Mm-hmm. 2 young bucks? Like, it was magical. Oh, I loved it. So he finished 6th in the Rookie of the Year voting, and that just seems to be a travesty for me. But again, I mean, I don't get a vote, so.
Yeah, it's true. Well, and
he struck out a lot.
Yeah, well, I mean, this year he was a runner-up in the MVP, and some argue he maybe should have won it because of what he did with his team, putting him on the brink of the playoffs, where Shohei Ohtani's team was nowhere near.
Yep.
But yeah, no, it's a solid pick. With that, let's take a quick break and we'll get back. And I actually only have two more now because we just overlapped on one. So we'll get back.
I only have two more as well.
Two, and we'll wrap things up.
Welcome back, baseball family. We have each got two remaining long-term loves, I guess we're calling them. I don't know. Players that we hope to be in a long-term relationship with Major League Baseball, okay?
As fans.
Yes. We're very excited about remaining on either scorecard because Brad thinks that we will only line up on one of them. I think we're going to line up on both, and I'm excited to have him be wrong. So let's see. Let's see how it goes, Brad. I think you should go first.
Okay, yeah, it would be my turn anyway, since there's, again, two of us.
Yes. If this was musical chairs.
Yes. So I'm going to start with the one that I think we're going to overlap on, like, certainly. Okay. So I'm going to start with, this is a guy who, quite honestly, the day he made his Major League debut, I was like, oh, snap.
Mm-hmm.
There's that. Took the league absolutely by storm. Another son of a player, right? Has been in the league for 3 years now. He finished top 3 in the Rookie of the Year. Has finished top 5 in the MVP, both 2020 and 2021. Just when you look up the definition for electric in the dictionary, his picture is next to it. And part of that is and I think if there was a GIF, it would be when he scored from second on a pop fly to the grass just outside of the infield dirt. And so we all know who I'm talking about. It's Fernando Tatis Jr. the third.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he is one of my absolute favorite players in baseball right now.
100%. He's got a WAR at 13.6. His batting average is sitting at a solid 292 right now. Mm-hmm. He had 52 stolen bases in his career. 25 of them was in 2021. 25 of them were in 2021. I can speak the Englishes. So his OBP career 369, slugging 596, OPS 965. I love watching this dude play baseball.
Me too. And don't discount this, Brig. He led the league in home runs in 2021 with 42. He led the National League. And that was only with playing 130 games.
I know.
He missed time because of a recurring shoulder injury.
It's insane. And we have playoff baseball experience with him as well. He's been involved in one wild card game and one division series.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And this is the thing, though, is that like the Padres went ahead and paid him. They're just like, yeah, we're going to want you around for a long time because this is the thing, is that he not only contributes on the field as just a beast, right? 100%. Like we went through his numbers. Like you want that on your team, but also the draw. Like I would drive to San Diego to see him play if that was the only chance I got to see him. I'm planning on going to see the Padres in town at least once this year, whenever baseball happens, just so I can watch Tatis play. I've seen Machado play, but Tatis was not playing that day in spring training, so I'm going to like go out of my way to watch the Padres this year here in Phoenix.
100%.
So, and I'm sure that I'm not alone in that sentiment.
No, you're not. And when they show up to Atlanta at Truist, I might have to do the same because it's like no miss baseball.
It is.
You have to have this experience.
Oh, and he's one of those players where you can't look away either.
Right.
Like if he's on defense, you want to watch what's going on. If he's up at the plate, you cannot blink because you don't know what's going to happen.
That's right. And if he gets on base, watch out. Stuff's going down.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah, it's awesome. His defensive numbers are also amazing, by the way. Let's not discount that. And I think we've kind of brushed past that with all of our picks previously, but none of them are slouches on defense. None.
Right.
Even Devers.
And this is the funny thing, too, is that a lot of people this last year were like killing Tatis for like, oh, his throwing errors, blah, blah, all this stuff. It's like, but there's some guys where, yes, they're going to make throwing errors, but the reason it's a throwing error is because he's making a play the guy across the street couldn't make.
not just across the street. That
But
the next 4 shortstops would be hard
Yeah.
pressed to even attempt.
yes, exactly right. Exactly right.
Yep. Yep.
So
Yeah, I
there's a
love it.
lot
Okay.
there. A lot going on there. All right,
Yeah,
who's your last one, Brig?
we could go into it more, but we won't. Okay, so let me pull him up. My last one is let's see, he might be the youngest guy on my list, actually. He's entering his 23-year-old season this season. I think Tatis is also in his and so is Vlad. Vlad, Tatis, and this guy are all entering their age 23 season.
Okay.
This guy came in 2018 and played 116 games his rookie year. By the way, he was runner-up rookie of the year voting that year in 2018. That should give it away. He's never in the subsequent 3 years has never ranked lower than top 10 in the MVP voting. He's got a couple of silver sluggers. He's been on an all-star team. He has won the batting title, and he's a World Series champion. And he's turning 23 this year.
And an infielder?
Oh, no, he's not an infielder. What have I done?
Oh, no.
That's how exciting it was. Brad, you should go.
All right.
What have I done?
I don't know. I'm not sure what happened there.
I
Let's
really
save
wanna
that
talk
though.
about
Let's
this
not
person.
reveal. Let's not reveal who that was, and we'll save it.
Okay.
Outfielder, right? Outfielder.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll save it for next week when we do outfielders, because I think we should make this a 3-part episode. So,
Dang. I'm back at it.
I wasn't sure if you were going to bring this guy in. Okay, so this guy is also 23.
Okay.
This is actually going to be his. I think this will be his age 24 season because he's going to turn 24 right before the season is supposed to start. Rob Manfred apparently says that things are on track, but I don't know if that's true.
Well, we don't trust Rob anyway.
No, we don't. But this is another son of a former player, right?
Yes, I know who you're going to say.
And he's got a career WAR 9.3. He made his debut in 2019, played 46 games, played 29 in 2020, played 159 in 2021, made the All-Star team, finished 12th in the MVP voting. Pretty impressive for a guy who was overshadowed a lot by a player on his team.
Yeah.
This is Bo Bichette.
It's Bo Bichette, yeah.
Now, I have to tell you, first off, I have an affinity for middle infielders because they do stuff that I was never able to do.
Well, yes.
Like, ever. Like, playing baseball, not a chance. I was a catcher and a third baseman. There's a reason I played those positions, right? So,
yeah.
I love watching middle infielders more than most positions in the game. And Bo Bichette is another shortstop to the list. Another guy who's just like he is great. He is absolutely outstanding defensively, but there's something about his effortless swing because Vlad's got a violent swing, right? Like you don't want to be within 10 feet of him when he's swinging the bat.
Yeah,
but Bo
exactly
Bichette's
right.
swing is so smooth and effortless, but the ball just explodes off the bat.
Yeah, it does.
Like, it just screams out of the field, out of the ballpark when he hits it. And that's one of the things I love is that he just makes baseball look so smooth, so easy when he plays it. And it is kind of funny because his picture on Baseball Reference, he looks like he's like a 16-year-old kid.
Yeah.
Like,
and
it looks
one
like
eye's kind of squinty.
Yeah, like like that half smile. It looks like he's like taking like his junior year picture and he just happens to have a Blue Jays hat on.
Yeah. I love it. I love it. All right, give me a chance to salvage myself, can we?
Yes. Yeah, go ahead. Who you got?
Because I have another guy that I didn't want to put on my list because everybody else on my list had like established themselves officially and had some longevity, as much as we can call it that within the first 4 or 5 seasons. But this guy is first. This guy is so exciting for a number of reasons. Let me say he's been in the league 1 year. Okay, and I love it. He played 70 games in 2021. Okay. In that time, he rounded out a batting average of 288, an OBP 347, slugging at 463, and an OPS of 810. Man, that's exciting. Okay. He has successfully stolen 5 bases. Nope, 2. That's his average. I'm sorry. He's successfully stolen 2 bases in 70 games. He is a shortstop / and or third baseman because he's still young. He already has a career WAR in 70 games of 3.5, which is
In
very
70
exciting.
games?
In 70 games, he's
Wow.
already got a career WAR of 3.5. That's what I'm saying. So, I mean, the other thing about this guy is it's Wander Franco. Sorry, it's Wander Franco.
Solid pick.
And the reason I'm choosing him, okay, first of all, he will be, come on, computer. We all thought that he was going to be like there was all this hype about him being the savior down on the Rays, right? And we were like, oh man, don't believe the hype. We got to see what he come. You know, he'll have the yips when he first gets there, like everybody else does, and he never did. Right?
He didn't.
There was no concern at all. He just rolled into town and like climbed up the ivory tower and sat there. And we were like, dude, who are you? Like, you're not. This is against the rules, bro. And he didn't get sent back down. To my knowledge, I don't think he got sent back down at all. Did he?
No, he didn't. And he finished 3rd in the Rookie of the Year voting to his teammate, Randy Arozarena, who, in my opinion, the only reason Arozarena won the Rookie of the Year was because he was there for the entire season. If they had not potentially, I'm going to put in quotes, gone and manipulated his service time and called him up earlier, like apparently he was ready to do, he may very well have won the Rookie of the Year.
100% possible. And his nickname is Patron.
What does that mean?
Which is remarkable for a 20-year-old person.
What is it? Do you know what that means? What does that mean?
Patron, doesn't it mean father or like?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it means father. It's like an honorific title.
I'm not sure what exactly it means. I'm going to look it up right now, though.
Yeah, you look it up. Tell me if I'm wrong.
My Spanish
is not
is not fantastic. That apparently obviously is not one that I know. So according to Google, okay. Well, so this is kind of funny. It wanted the first thing it gave me was Patronus. Thank you, Harry Potter.
Expecto?
Yeah, expecto patronum. I know that's not right, but Patron. Oh, there we go. Yeah, it means pattern.
No
pattern. But here's the thing, though. Here's the thing, Brig. Though, like, what do you do with a pattern?
Right.
You use the pattern to make more copies.
So it's the mold. It's more.
So more he's like the mold. He's the original. The mold. And that might be a cultural Spanish thing that you and I don't quite understand.
That's true.
That if he's like the original, the best, and we want to try to make everybody else like him, then maybe he is El Patron, right?
Yeah.
So maybe that's where it comes from.
That's cool.
So
that's cool. All I know is that I've heard people refer to other people as Patron when it's like, I'm a little bit afraid of you. I'm going to give you all the deference possible. That kind of thing.
Yeah. I don't know. But anyway, no, that's a solid pick. I don't know why.
Wander Franco. Thanks for rolling with my gaff there, baseball family. I don't know what happened. I was just really excited to talk about that other person. I guess you'll stay tuned for next time when we talk about outfielders under 25, and I will reveal who that person is in remaining my number 1 pick.
And that's what we call a tease. But baseball family, let us know who you think are some of your favorite players. Who are some players who you love? Infielders under 25 years old. Did we leave somebody off that list? I'm sure we did. There are plenty of guys out there. Like we said, there is a ton of young talent in baseball right now. So let us know who you think we left off the list, who we should have addressed. Submit that in the mailbag at baseballtogether.com. There's also a link in the description. As always, you can tap that link. It'll take you right to the page where you just fill out the form. Just give us your name so we know who to give a shout out to. And also put your list in there for us so we can see it, because we want to see what you think about it.